Welcome to the CompTIA Project Plus Prepcast by baremetalcyber.com. Communication records are among the most important artifacts in a project's documentation set. They serve as a tangible history of what was discussed, decided, and agreed upon throughout the project lifecycle. Well-maintained records provide an objective source of truth that supports decision-making and helps resolve disputes. They are also a critical component of project governance, demonstrating that actions were taken in alignment with organizational policy and regulatory requirements. For the project manager, ensuring that these records are accurate, complete, and secure is not optional. It is a core responsibility that strengthens stakeholder trust and organizational credibility. One of the first steps in effective record-keeping is understanding the different types of communication records a project generates. Email exchanges that document approvals, scope changes, or key decisions must be preserved because they form part of the project's decision trail. Meeting agendas, minutes, and attendance logs capture what was discussed, the outcomes reached, and who was involved, which can be vital in clarifying accountability later. Status reports, performance dashboards, and other progress summaries present the official picture of project health at specific points in time. Contracts, memos, and formal correspondence with vendors or clients represent legally binding commitments or significant business arrangements and must be stored with care. Keeping these records is not simply a matter of habit. There are strong, practical reasons behind it. Documentation confirms what was agreed, by whom, and when, making it easier to settle disagreements or correct misunderstandings. Well-organized records help prevent scope disputes by providing verifiable evidence of changes and approvals. They also protect the organization in legal or compliance situations where proof of due process is required. For projects with a long life cycle or high staff turnover, having a documented communication history speeds up onboarding for new team members and stakeholders, enabling them to get up to speed without revisiting past decisions. Centralizing storage is key to making communication records accessible, consistent, and secure. A central repository, whether in a project management platform, a dedicated document library, or a secure cloud drive, ensures that all authorized team members can find the latest versions of documents quickly. Standardized folder structures and file naming conventions help avoid confusion and make retrieval straightforward. In addition, access control settings should be clearly defined and actively monitored to ensure that only the right people have the right level of access to sensitive project information. Responsibility for maintaining communication records should be clearly assigned. In many projects, the project manager or project coordinator oversees documentation practices, but the workload is often shared. Each meeting or formal update should have an assigned note-taker or recorder to capture accurate details. Team members must understand which types of communications should be documented and where they should be stored. When everyone shares responsibility for documentation, the risk of important data being lost or overlooked is reduced significantly. Version control is a crucial part of managing communication artifacts. Without it, multiple people may be working from different versions of the same document, leading to errors and confusion. Proper versioning tracks changes over time, labeling drafts, revisions, and final approvals. This is particularly important in regulated or contractual environments, where decisions and changes must be fully traceable. Using platforms that offer built-in version control or a clear manual versioning process helps maintain document integrity and avoids miscommunication. Protecting the integrity and authenticity of records is another vital aspect of communication management. Documents should be safeguarded from unauthorized changes or deletions, with measures like file locks, restricted permissions, and secure platforms that log user activity. Digital signatures and audit trails can confirm that a record is genuine and has not been altered since it was created. Maintaining records in their original formats also preserves context, making it easier to understand the decisions or discussions they document. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Controlling access to sensitive communications is essential to protecting project information. Not every team member needs to see all records, especially when those records contain financial details, personnel information, or confidential contractual terms. Implementing role-based permissions ensures that individuals can only access the data necessary for their responsibilities. Sensitive communications should be encrypted when stored or transmitted, and password protection can provide an extra layer of security. Careful control of access helps prevent accidental disclosure, as well as intentional data breaches. Once a project is complete, archiving communication records preserves them for future reference. Archiving policies should clearly state how long records will be stored, how they will be organized, and who will have access to them. Well-maintained archives can be invaluable during audits, legal inquiries, or follow-on projects where historical decisions need to be reviewed. Organizing archives in a way that allows for quick retrieval even years later ensures that the value of this documentation is preserved over the long term. Retention and disposal policies are equally important in managing project records. Certain documents must be kept for specific durations to comply with legal, regulatory, or contractual requirements. Once those periods expire, records should be securely deleted to maintain data hygiene and reduce the risk of storing outdated or irrelevant information. Secure disposal methods, combined with proper documentation of what has been deleted, help ensure compliance and protect sensitive information from recovery or misuse. Maintaining audit readiness is one of the strongest arguments for keeping thorough communication records. Auditors may request evidence of approvals, decision-making processes, and reporting. Projects that maintain complete, time-stamped communication records are better positioned to provide this proof quickly and confidently. For projects subject to external oversight, traceable and well-organized documentation can significantly reduce audit risk and make the process far less stressful. Communication records should also be integrated with other key project documents to create a complete and consistent project file. Meeting minutes can be linked to scope changes or risk escalations, and emails can serve as confirmation of milestone approvals or resource adjustments. This integration improves accuracy and eliminates the gaps that can occur when documents are stored separately without context. Project communication logs can be a valuable source of lessons learned. Reviewing past emails, meeting notes, and decision records can highlight patterns in response times, clarify how misunderstandings occurred, or identify factors that led to successful collaboration. These insights feed directly into process improvements for future projects and can be captured formally in the Lessons Learned section of the project closeout report. Many communication and collaboration tools now include built-in features for archiving and record-keeping. Email systems can be configured to automatically file messages based on rules, while meeting platforms often allow recording of sessions and preservation of chat transcripts. Understanding the capabilities and limitations of these tools helps teams decide whether additional archiving measures are needed to meet governance or compliance requirements. Training teams on documentation standards ensures that record-keeping is consistent and reliable. All team members should know which communications need to be documented, where they should be stored, and how files should be named. Providing templates, quick guides, and examples reinforces these standards and makes them easier to follow. Regular reminders and reviews can reduce the risk of accidental data loss, duplication, or inconsistent filing. In summary, communication records are not just administrative artifacts. They are a foundation for accountability, compliance, and transparency in project management. Storing them securely, controlling access, and maintaining them according to formal processes protects the project and the organization. Integrating record-keeping with other project activities, leveraging available tools, and ensuring that every team member understands their role in documentation will strengthen governance and support long-term organizational learning. Thank you for listening. Please follow baremetalcyber.com on social media and check out our books at cyberauthor.me.